Hello everybody and welcome along once again to a hot lap challenge guide. This is for round 30. As you can see, I'm in the Gr4 Veyron and we're at Dragon Trail Seaside. It's taken me a bit longer to get a lap in for you this week because I know you'd expect a good lap. So it's taken me a fair bit of time to be able to get it down, but I did put a tune on the car, courtesy of Tidgneys. And the anti-roll bar is 10-10 and the cambers are 40-40 and 50-50. It gave me quite a good lap. So let's get into the car. I was able to knock 4/10 off my previous best, so that's a 47.0. So we'll get straight into the lap and see how we got it. For the Veyron, I am I'm changing gear about 90% of the way up the rev bar because the Veyron just keeps pulling and pulling. It's very good. So let's get straight into the lap. Here we go. This first corner obviously flat out. You want to cut a little bit onto the curb and you want to settle the car before you come off the curb, so you don't want to get onto the end of the curb. And we are looking for around about here. As you can see, I'm just starting to brake now, just before the curb starts, maybe 10 meters before the curb starts. And you want to brake in the straight line all the way down to second, and you want to hold at least 60 mile an hour through here, 67, up to 70 maybe if you can. And you want to accelerate up the first part in second, get onto the far curb on the right hand side, and then change up to third. Now it's very tricky to get the line right through here because the edge of these curbs will bounce the car, so you've got to be very careful. Here we go. Here we are, get onto this one. Up to third, get onto that one and use all the curb here if you need to. As you can see, I'm changing just up at 90%, and then for this one, very tricky turn in. You don't want to go off the curb on this one because it will push the car way out into the sand. So as long as you get your line right, and I think I do a little bit of a lift here to help turn the car. Yep, a little bit of a lift. And then before the shadow starts here, just on the left hand side, we're going to be changing all the way down to second, and then if you take a wider line in, as soon as you touch the curb on the inside for the apex, you get straight back on the power in second. Here we go. Down second, straight on the power, leaving second, up to third. Sector 1 wasn't too bad, it was a 36.0. I have had a 35.9 in my previous fastest. So let's get down the hill, and for coming down the hill to the next left-hander, you're going to be looking for the orange board on the right hand side. That's where I changed down to fourth. Get on the brakes to about 100 miles an hour, and you're looking to try and keep a little bit of throttle as well to help the car. So here we go, up to fifth. Here's the orange barrier here. As you can see, I'm just coming off the throttle, starting to brake. Down to fourth. And try to keep it about 100 if you can. Yeah, it's not too bad. Could have got a couple mile an hour. Cut right onto this one. I missed the apex there. It's not too bad though, because I've got good speed coming through here. Very careful on the exit on the right hand side there. And for this one, you're looking about 130 out. I think I've just started to brake. Oh, where's the sign? Oh, it's past anyway. So maybe about 140 actually. And you're going to go all the way down to second. Start turning in on third gear when you're changing down. Try to keep about 60 mile an hour onto the apex, 55-ish. And as soon as you get the car turned through the apex, get straight on the power. The car will hold, only just. So get turned, there's the apex, get on the power as soon as you can. The car does hold its line nicely. Changing up. Now we come to the chicane of death. Very tricky here. You don't want to be right on the inside of the curb because you will unbalance the car. So use all the black and white, and again on the second part, half the black and white. You want to get as close to the barrier on the right hand side as you can. And when I'm coming through the second part of the chicane, we're going to go through this slowly, I think. Coming up to the curb, you can see I'm still on full throttle just now. Along the curb, and you get to about here. As you can see, I'm still turning left, but the car is just straightening up. So we will be kind of turning shortly. The car's gripping now. As you can see, I've come off the throttle of this part, and we're going to go through the chicane. We're going to turn as close as we can to the barrier here. We'll see that better in chase cam in a minute. And I'm just coming back onto the throttle now a little bit, just to keep the car stable. As soon as we get through this part, that's as close as we want to get there. About here, we're almost full throttle. And you're going to aim for the yellow barrier on the right there as the car straightens up. Don't worry, we'll go through this full power in the outer car, full speed of the outer car view. And again, you can see now, I'm still turning left, but then I'm going to chuck it sharp right and try to cut as much of this one as I can. Right onto the curb, and that's pretty much as close as you want to get there. As you can see, I've got the little red dot above the rev counter, and it is full right to make sure I slide through this corner nicely and then get straight on, missing the barrier on the left. Then for the final braking point for the lap, we are looking just after the 150, so around about here. As you can see, I'm just starting to brake now. Again, try to brake in a straight line, use a bit of the curb on the left there. Down to second, then cut right in, then accelerate out in second if you can. So down to second, get onto the inside of the curb here, accelerate off it. The curb does help the car turn a little bit, so then it's just a mad run to the line. And that is a lap of Dragon Trail for you, and I managed it at a 46.6. So that took 4/10 off my previous best lap. So what we'll do is we'll go out of car, and we'll do it again for you. And we'll do the chicane full speed so you can see how close and tricky it really can be. Going through that chicane, I think I managed about 122 miles an hour, which was 5 miles an hour faster than my previous best, so you do make up a lot of time. On the curb, off the curb, keep the car settled, down to second gear. There then, get right on that curb, right on this curb, get on the power. Could have been a little bit faster through there, but that's fine. I might try again later on. Use that curb there, it's just before the shadow, we're braking, down to second, get on the power onto that curb. Use the run off. Now here's the orange barrier, down to fourth. Cut right in. Should have turned a little bit earlier here, but that's okay. Kept some good speed. Make sure you don't run wide on this one. Again, we're going to be looking at about 140. Down to second, cut right in. Could have cut in a little bit better, would have got on the power earlier if I did. But that's okay. A lot of people use the curb on the runoff, I don't like it. Through the chicane, full power, here we go. Let's see how close we get to the barrier. That is as close as you'd ever want to get, I think. I did carry good speed down here this time. Now we're looking at about 140, yeah, 130. There you go, down onto the brakes, down to second. Cut right in onto the curb, then go on the power. As you can see, the car did wiggle a little bit, but it helped turn it through the corner. And that is this week's guide. Sorry it's a bit later, but I did want to put a decent guide in for you guys. And that was the best chicane I've done all week so far. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Cheers, guys.